Imagine a scene straight out of a divided America. Federal officers unleashing tear gas and hauling away protesters in front of a detention center, all while hundreds of voices rise in defiance. This isn't just another headline. It's a flashpoint in the ongoing battle over immigration, security, and the right to protest. But here's where it gets controversial. Is deploying military forces to quell civilian unrest a necessary shield, or an overreach that stifles free speech? Stick around, because the details might just challenge what you think about authority and activism. On Saturday afternoon, October 4th, 2025, a large group of demonstrators made their way from Elizabeth Caruthers Park in southwest Portland to the Portland Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) detention facility. For those new to this, ICE is a federal agency responsible for enforcing immigration laws, often at the center of heated debates about border control and human rights. This march wasn't isolated. It came hot on the heels of President Donald Trump's announcement just last week that he planned to send up to 200 members of the Oregon National Guard to Portland, ostensibly to maintain order amid rising tensions. The protesters, who had assembled earlier that morning at the nearby park, arrived at the facility and effectively shut down the road leading to the building. It wasn't long before federal law enforcement emerged from the center, deploying tear gas to break up the crowd. While the exact number of canisters isn't confirmed, those at the front lines reported multiple rounds being fired. And this is the part most people miss. In a move that escalated the situation, officers also detained several individuals standing on the sidewalk right outside the facility's entrance. The tear gas continued to be used around 1:20 p.m., creating a chaotic atmosphere that underscored the raw emotions on both sides. For context, this incident ties into broader national discussions about how authorities handle protests. You might recall similar scenes from 2020, where clashes in cities like Portland drew widespread attention and criticism. To learn more about the lead-up, check out this related piece. Trump administration gave Oregon governor 12-hour deadline to mobilize troops, memo shows. https://opb.org/article/2025-10 Trump Kotek troop mobilization deadline. Thanks to our sponsor, at least 2 of the arrested protesters were set free later that day. Cascano shared his experience, noting he was held for about 90 minutes and issued a citation for trespassing, a charge that highlights the fine line between peaceful assembly and perceived obstruction. Another participant, John Jolley, arrived in the afternoon and was still reeling from the lingering scent of tear gas. He urged fellow demonstrators to avoid taking the bait, a phrase often echoed by Portland's leaders, to prevent provocations that could worsen the situation. What drew me here was the aftermath of 2020, when our city was torn apart by all the media frenzy, Jolley explained. I refuse to let that cycle repeat itself. Adding to the mix of perspectives, Steve Hall, a former U.S. Army intelligence officer with 3 years of service, voiced strong opposition to the Guard's involvement. They have no place here, he stated firmly. Our local police are more than capable of handling city and county matters, including any challenges that arise. This viewpoint sparks debate. Is the National Guard a vital reinforcement for overwhelmed forces, or does it represent an unnecessary militarization of domestic issues? Not all protesters were seasoned activists. Brittanee Carr from Milwaukee brought her 5-year-old daughter along, inspired by recent TikTok videos of the demonstrations. I wanted to teach her that standing up for your beliefs is important, and that we can do so peacefully without resorting to violence, Carr said. It's moments like these that remind us of the generational impact of civic engagement, showing how social media can mobilize families and spark conversations about justice. This story is still unfolding, and will update as more details emerge. Thanks to our sponsor. What do you think? Does the use of tear gas and arrests cross a line in suppressing dissent? Or is it a justified response to maintain public safety? And on the flip side, should the National Guard be called in to support local efforts? Or does it risk escalating tensions unnecessarily? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear differing opinions and start a respectful discussion.